Hi, I'm Lulu and welcome to Lulu's Way. I'm really glad you're here. So I am currently in Oklahoma. I just pulled over to have lunch. Supplements. So yesterday I woke up in Springfield, Missouri. I traveled to Tulsa, Oklahoma because I found a Whole Foods there and a Planet Fitness. So I had a nice shower and I got some groceries. So I was all set in Tulsa. Oh, I'm hungry. I have delicata squash, carrots. I have some purple cabbage, and I have some chicken and chicken sausage and Japanese white sweet potato. Surprise, surprise. So I left Tulsa and I made it into Oklahoma City, and I found a Holiday Inn there. Now let me just tell you a little something about hotels. A Vanlife friend of mine said to me, she goes, I have a friend that works for one of the big hotels. And I told her about how some of us might be parking in the parking lots. And she said, well, good, it makes us look busy. So just wanted to share that with you. So whenever I pull into a Holiday Inn, I always think, you're welcome for making you look busy. When I almost reached Oklahoma City, my check engine light came on. I was like, shit. You just have to move forward and just do what needs to be done. That's all. There was no need to panic. I just needed to diagnose what was wrong and have it fixed. And I thought, whatever delay that I'm experiencing because of this, everything happens for a reason. And I always believe the universe always has my best interest in mind. So I was delayed for a gosh darn good reason, and I don't know what it was. So when I woke up this morning, I had this idea that maybe when I started the car, maybe the light would be off. I love when things fix themselves. Don't you love that? Didn't happen. Light was still on. So I found an AutoZone a few miles away. Opens at 7:30. I was there at 7:27. That was so good. So I asked the guy if he could diagnose, if he could just plug the computer thing in. So he did. And he said, it looks like your oil pressure sensor is malfunctioning. So I thought, okay, so what do I do? He says, well, you want to have it checked out. I said, what do you have around here where I could go? He said, well, a couple of blocks down is a Jiffy Lube, and they have extended service. They have like a mechanic there that does car work too. So I thought, in this situation, I'd rather go to a chain than to go to just an independent mechanic, because I just feel like maybe with the chain would be more trustworthy, As far as skill, I mean, how do you pick that, So I called my mechanic and I told him what was going on. He told me to check the oil. He wanted to see if it was leaking oil. Oil was filled right to the top. I just had a change before I left. He goes, well, if it's the oil pressure sensor, just have them replace it out. It shouldn't be that big of a job. And let me know how you make out. He said, I won't be able to sleep tonight until I know how you made out. said, no, that's not true. He was just busting my chops. So I was there at Jiffy Lube about 8. And I talked to the guy there, and he said the mechanic doesn't show up till between 9 and 10. So I was like, oh. So I knew I had to wait up to 2 hours just for him to get there. But he says, we should be able to get the part and have it done right away. I said, well, that's really good. I'm grateful. So I waited the 2 hours, and I just made use of that time. What I did in those 2 hours were things that I would drive and stop and do one thing, drive, stop and do another thing, drive, stop and do another. I like to break it up. I don't want to get all my stuff done in 2 hours and then drive and not stop. I don't like that. So that's what I did. I cooked a pot of Japanese white sweet potato. I got a video edited and uploaded. I got to a lot of comments. I was really backed up with those. I got to a lot of those. I had to do some work on the registrations, on the Florida registrations. I had to get some order with that. And I had some emails I needed to answer. I just got a lot of things done. I made a couple of lists for another time. I read my reading for tonight's book study club meeting. And before I knew it, 2 hours went by. So I went in, and there was the mechanic. He said, yeah, I'm going to need about an hour. I said, okay. So by 11, it was all set. It was oil, oil sensor pressure. So the total was $280. And just paid the $280. My oil pressure sensor is now working, and I'm back on the road. Easy breezy. Life's going to throw you some curveballs, whether you're home or you're on the road. People panic about what just happened to me today. People panic about that. People write to me, I'm so afraid of breaking down. I'm so afraid of something going wrong, and blah, blah, blah. It's just, you just stop. Just think about what you need to do, and then just do it. Now, I messaged Luann, and I said, I'm delayed. I'm going to be a little backed up with my timing on getting to Phoenix. She said, it's no big deal. She said, the only place that we have to be is on November 9th at the Courtside meetup. That's the only place we have to be. She says, I'm not going to leave for Utah without you. Whenever you get here, you get here. Easy breezy. So I'm back on the road, and I had, by the time I left there, I had 40 minutes until lunchtime, and I thought, should I even bother getting on the road? I was like, yeah, I need to get some miles in. So I did 40 minutes, and I found a gas station, pulled over, having my lunch. And now I'm not going to drive all afternoon because I just don't do that. I'll drive maybe a couple of hours, have a break, maybe one more hour. That's about it. I really wanted to make it to Amarillo, Texas today. That was the destination. But that's probably about 250 miles from where I am right now. That's a lot to do in a day. For me, it is. So, I'll figure it out. And I'll get there when I get there. I'm so grateful for the check engine light. I mean, I've got a sensor that's gone, and I don't have to wait until it causes a problem. It's not regulating the pressure of the oil, and then what happens? I get a big oil spill or oil leak, or I don't know what happens if you don't take care of it. But I'll get the check engine light. It tells me that there's something wrong. I go, and they just plug that little computer in, and it just tells you what's wrong. And then they just fix it. It's really nothing to worry about, So for any of you that are afraid of something going wrong, you know, if I break down, I call AAA and I say, where's the nearest shop? Take me to the nearest shop. Worst case scenario is like, you know, you end up in a shop that maybe they're not honest and they overcharge you, but it's not like the end of the world, you know? Just a little curveball, that's all. I've been traveling in my van for quite a while now. This is the first time I've ever been at a shop to have something fixed. So I'm grateful that that's all taken care of. I'm grateful that it was a job that was done within a few hours. You know, it could have been something that I needed a part that they couldn't get until tomorrow. I would have been stuck in Oklahoma City overnight. Even that would have been okay. It's everything just has to be okay. Because what's the alternative? To get all stressed out about it, to get all unhappy about it and frustrated. You know, it's like, just trust life. And just trust that everything happens just as it should. And bye for now. Okay, so I put on a few miles. Not much though. I hit the road. I probably did about an hour and I was getting sleepy. So I pulled over and had a nap. I'm like, I don't have time to take a nap. But I had to take a nap, so I did. Because really, when it all boils down, I really have the time to do anything, so I'm good. So I just stopped into Walmart in Elk City, Oklahoma. I've been here before. I remember Elk City sounds familiar. I might have even slept here the last time I was on my way to Arizona. So I had to get some stuff. I had my little list and I had to get stuff, like that stuff that I don't like to get at Whole Foods because their wipes and their cleaners and their paper towels, they're all kind of like earthy, crunchy stuff, and they just don't do the job for me, you know? I like a good, strong laundry detergent. I like a good, strong paper towel, not a recycled one. I like that kind of stuff. So I need to go to Walmart for that. So I got my paper towels, which are very important to me, and I like the Bounty. I've tried them all, and I use these for trash liners, so that's good. So I like to keep a stash of them right in here. I cut them in quarters like this, so it's a little bit of a project. And I keep some of them full. Well, they're half sheets, but so what I do is I put one in the cargo box, so that's going in the cargo box, and then this one I just I break it all up into sheets like this. I have my doors open because there's a breeze, and the breeze is so good. So good. So I'll go through this whole roll and do this, and then some of them I keep full like this, and I put them right under my cabinets. I keep them right up there, right here, right when I need one that's big like that. And then I take some and I just get a stack of these. I can cut about 10 at a time, and then I just go like this and then stack them all up. Now I know that they sell some paper towels that you can rip in quarters, like they're all perforated, but they're not worth my time because you gotta pull them right at the right spot to get them. I'm like, yeah, I don't got time for that. So I just get the ones that come in half size, half, and then I cut the halves in half. And then I just stack them right up in there, and I have them handy for all the cleaning I need to do. So this one goes under here in my pallet cabinet, and then I keep the other one in the cargo box. Let's see what else I got. I got wipes. So I like to keep wipes right here. This is my section for wipes. So I was just getting a little bit low. I always have water wipes. I like to wash my face with water wipes because I like to, in the morning when I'm cleaning like my eyes and stuff, I like to just use the one it's just 99.9% water. And then I like the ones that have a little fragrance, to clean my hands and wipe the counters and stuff. So anyway, those two were getting a little low. So I thought I got another one. Oh, I did, right here. Huggies, extra large. I thought those would be cool to try. So I'll put those up here and put these two on top. And then these will go in my storage under my bed. I have a bucket that's storage of supplies. Another thing I got was another box of rubber gloves. I use rubber gloves for handling raw meat. I don't have running hot water, and I would want to wash my hands with hot water, and I don't have it, so I just cover my hands and then I handle it all. I just do everything I need to do and then take them off. So I knew I was getting a little low, so right underneath my paper towels is my box of gloves. Here they are. And yeah, I just have a little tiny small handful left. So I'll stick these on top and put this right here and this right here. Okay, now I have my rubber gloves are all set because I do not want to be without those. When I'm handling chicken, I don't want to be without those. I knew that I needed some more Tide. Now I just get the pods. To me, it's easier for Vanlife for me to have the pods than to have a big jug of laundry detergent. Now I know I was getting low, so I just have a few left in here. I can feel maybe about 3 or 4. And when I get to Luann's house in Phoenix, I'm going to be using her laundry. Okay, so I've been on the road for 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks. I have a lot of laundry. So I'm going to put this with my extra supplies, and that will come out because I will definitely go through this at Luann's, and I'll need to dip into that. And I'll get all my laundry done there, which will be wonderful. As soon as I open a bottle of alcohol and start using it to make my 50-50 mixtures for both my kitchen and my bathroom for cleanup, I get some new ones. So here's a couple of these. I'm going to put these in my storage under my bed. I have room in that bucket for all that stuff. So that's good. So now, how did I find this Walmart? If you haven't seen that video that I did at one of my meetups, my friend Marianne did a presentation on Google Maps, how to find things on your route. It's a great video. It was a great presentation, and a lot of people were like, oh, wow, this is good. I'll put a link to that video in the description. It's a must-see. So that's all I did. I just had my route from here to my friend Luann's house, and I just said Walmart's on my route, and it showed one about 25 miles away. I looked. I want to make sure that it's next to Route 40, because I'm on Route 40 now for a long time. I want to make sure I don't want one that's 20 miles off of the highway. I want one that's hugging the highway. So that showed me this one. So yep, I just put that as at a stop, just like Marianne explains in the video, and then it just took me right here. So that's good. So right now it's 3:30. I'm going to go get like another hour in before I find another place to pull over and enjoy my book study group. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go into the description of this video, go down to where it says Lulu's Way Facebook groups, look for the one that says Book Study Club, click to join it, and you come on in and you'll see what it's all about. And we just study spiritual literature together, myself with a whole screen full of my subscribers, and we get together every week. We've been doing it for over 2 years, and we've been spiritually growing together. It's been a delight So you might want to join us, and you're all welcomed. So I'm going to go put this stuff away and hit the road. So bye for now. Hello again. So I kept heading west, and right now I'm in McLean, Texas. I'm about 70 miles from Amarillo. My idea was that I was going to be in Amarillo tonight, and I could still do it. It's only 7:30, and it was like another hour. And I feel very awake because I had that nap. But I came to a rest area. It's a beautiful rest area. And the sunset, you can see the sunset on me. It's looks like it's going to be beautiful. So I'm going to do a little bit of cooking. I'm going to make some boneless pork loin chops. I got them at Whole Foods. So I got a couple of pounds of this, and I'm going to open it up. It's going to be a little messy, I think. I'm just going to put this right on my lap. I know what I need. I need rubber gloves. Before I get messy, I want to show you something. I found this at Whole Foods, and I said, I'm going to try this. I got it in the freezer department. It was a bag of frozen organic Indian basmati rice. So it's just all cooked rice, just cooked white rice. I thought, let me try this, like instead of cooking it. I mean, I don't mind cooking it in the Instant Pot, but it worked out really well. I weighed out 4 ounces this morning. I put it in a pan with my eggs, and I made a rice omelet. Worked out really good. So just look for frozen cooked rice if you just want to save yourself some time. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to open up this mess right here. I'm going to cut this in pieces because I don't want to cook it for a really long time for it to cook through. All right, so I got all the pieces cut up like that. All right, let's see here. We'll put a couple of dollops of mustard on here. Okay, I'm gonna need another glove. I couldn't keep the same gloves on because I needed to touch other stuff. All right. Okay. There it is, all coated up in mustard. Okay, so now I'm going to cover the mustard. I'm going to put this right here. Let me put the mustard away, And I'll put the rice away now that I've shown it to you. Okay, let's get this spoon cleaned up before the mustard dries up on it. Okay, I'm going to get out my stove. And my pan. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of non-stick spray, and I'm going to do smoked paprika. I'm going to put a layer of smoked paprika on the bottom of the pan. Just like that. Get that fired up, and I'm going to get my tongs, and I'm going to put this all in a single layer in here. There it is. And now I'm going to put smoked paprika all over the top. There it is. So I'm going to let that cook while I clean this up. Put a little bit of water in this to get this mustard off the sides here. I've already eaten dinner. I'm all done eating for the day. I'm just preparing for tomorrow. All right, now that I got all that mustard off, now I can actually disinfect it with the alcohol. I just find, living in a van, don't have running hot soapy water. I find just the alcohol and water mixture just makes everything feel clean and sterilized. It feels good for me. Okay, I'm going to leave that out because that's where I'm going to put all the cooked meat. I'm going to go find a trash barrel to put this trash out tonight. Okay, let me turn these over. Okay. I'm going to quickly show you this this rest stop because it's so nice. Okay, I'm going to turn this heat off. I'm going to let some of the residual heat finish that off. And I'm going to go find a barrel to put this trash in. And another thing on the agenda is to change out my ice. Go. Now my ice is all done. Now you see, that was really no big deal. I do that once a day. For me, it's the best system. It's working like a charm. All right. I'm going to cut a couple of these open just to make sure they're not pink in the middle. Oh my God, they're perfect. 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 There you have it. The lighting is terrible because it's night, but here it is. I got this little portable light. Look at how delish that looks, okay? That's gonna be so good. I scraped up all the mustardy smoked paprika stuff on the bottom of the pan. It's gonna be so delish. Okay. So, I'm going to put a cooling bag on these because I have my doors open and there might be some flies that come in and I don't want the flies on my food. So I'm going to put this right here to cool, and before I go to bed, I'll put that away. The stove cools down pretty quick, which is really great. And there you have it. I got my protein prep cooked for the next few days. And now I'm ready to get myself in my jammies and get horizontal and relax for a couple of hours before I go off to sleep. So, all in all, I made pretty good timing today, all considering. Like I said, I'm very grateful for how everything transpired for me today, all considering. I'm grateful to be safe, happy, healthy, and content. And bye for now.